Hello, greetings from the great state of Delaware. This is Dominic coming at you live on a recording. It's Dissonant Waves. Rights and Tricks are here, and we're all here to settle a very central, important question.
Yes.
How many 8-year-olds could each of us take in a fight?
Well, I can't speak for myself because I'm not much of a mosher, but I was at an all ages hardcore show, so there is at least one person out there that can answer this question.
And that's not you.
No.
No, not me.
Well,
I gotta think. I gotta think about this in a true question. Every time I ask this question, I gotta just put this out here, Tricks, before we say our answers. Every time I ask this question, I say only melee weapons allowed. Are we even allowing that?
no, I think it's just like a fisticuffs fight. Like just.
All right, so I have to take
think
them.
what you can scavenge off the 8-year-olds you can use.
Okay, so are they allowed melee weapons?
No, but I'm hoping one or two of them comes at me with a razor scooter.
Well, that is very more than likely in my area. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, and what's considered beating them in the fight?
Either they fall unconscious or they run away crying.
Okay, but if they just sit there injured, but yeah,
you get knocked to the ground and then they're done.
Okay.
Okay, so they don't have to die. I don't have to kill them.
Not monsters. Come on.
No.
No, but it's a hypothetical here. You're gonna make sure I got all the aspects of the hypothetical, down pat before I give an answer. So all I need to do is beat them. Okay. The next question is are they all like the same race?
No, it's a cornucopia of different people.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's very multicultural. Okay, so my answer is it's an infinite amount until the kids from Rudy Hill start coming in, and then I'm done.
Oh, I've actually thought pretty in depth about this. I think given that my job requires me to use fire, knives, and frying pans at the regular, I feel like I could take 3 at once.
Yeah, but you're not allowed the knives to bring. You can't bring in anything.
Without the knives, just my fists and anything I scavenge off of them. And I fight dirty. I will pull hair. I will tear clothes.
That's all in a schoolyard fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think you want to be out there saying that you would tear the clothes of 8-year-olds.
I think you're right. I realized after I said it.
Yeah,
I'm a couple bong rips deep at this point. I'll be honest.
I would kill the kids, but I'm not doing that. We have standards on this podcast.
I think I could take them pretty well until one comes at me with like a razor scooter, and then I'll take that razor scooter and just start going for shin hits.
In this hypothetical, are we worrying about the guilt that you might have from beating up 8-year-olds?
See, that's where...
no. This is a video game situation. I'm assuming that like we're being placed inside of like the Star Trek simulator.
Okay, so it's like a HP kind of like thing on me. So it's the more damage that they do, no health packs eventually.
If I was actually fighting for my life in the real world, I would say only like 3 or 4 before the guilt settles in. Without the guilt.
No.
I like the idea that it takes the third child. It's like the first child, you're like, I had to be done. It's like second, anyone could have done that. Third child, starting to feel guilty. And then there's the fourth child you killed. It's like, yeah, maybe this was wrong.
Maybe there are other ways to settle this dispute.
I feel like you're either feeling guilty after the first child that you've knocked out, or you're just not going to feel guilty at all.
Well, in the scenario, they're coming at me, right? They're attacking me, so...
Well, yeah, but think about it. At what time does a veteran feel guilty? Is it more likely that they're going to feel guilty from killing 100 people than it is from killing one?
Oh, I mean,
or is it probably about the same?
It depends. I imagine it's probably the same in the end. It's not.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So, I know. So with a serial killer, I mean, they don't suddenly feel guilty after the 17th one.
But this is happening in like quick succession.
Yeah, I guess
it's just the pacing of the moment. It's like
if you think it's a time thing, then yeah, that makes a bit more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm assuming Kingsman fight scene, but 8-year-olds.
I'm thinking. Let's see.
I mean,
number
again,
of
the
the
scenario is
sailors.
like it's like a video game. They're just all coming at you like a few at a time. They're all standing in a circle waiting for each one of them to do their move and then fall down, and then the next one does their move and falls down.
I can't
You
really punch or
also
kick or anything, so that's
you
gonna also make
also
it harder
have
for me
to
to knock them
take into
out.
consideration the 8-year-olds that are going to take themselves out because a lot of 8-year-olds are uncoordinated little shits.
And don't forget the QTEs.
Yes. And also you can't forget sometimes you get a farm 8-year-old. Like an 8-year-old that was raised on a farm and like can actually like is like a challenge.
I think in the end, I'm going to say 8. I think it's the round number. I think I could take 8-year-olds.
Oh, if I am anything, I have everything and hubris, and I'm going to say 20.
For the sake of moving
I-
on,
I-
I'll say 8 as well.
Yeah, I think 8's a good number because after that, it's not more so that I would be like worn out by the kids, but more so by myself because I don't have a good fighting technique, especially for stamina. So I think I would actually be worn out after the 8th.
I definitely think I have like the actual real advantage out of all three of us, given my job.
Probably.
Because I'm
Yeah,
on my
probably, yeah.
feet hours a day. I'm running around. I'm maneuvering heavy shit constantly.
Well,
And by working in hospitality, there's a good chance you hate kids. So you probably won't get the guild.
It's not the kids I hate, it's the adults.
That's true, yeah.
in our RPG class, you'd be the tank.
Yes.
Ritz is the healer. I guess I'm DPS. I don't know.
Anyway, this is a music podcast.
Enough about
Yes.
fighting children.
Let's talk about the horrors.
What are we covering this week? We haven't talked about
We're
that yet.
covering a lot this week.
We are covering a lot this week. I went the weird route and picked up a cassette that I had bought years ago and digitized it, and then found the album that the single demo thing comes from. So my pick was a band called Irving Gordon, or Gordon, depending on where you look, and their self-titled album. Tricks, you did Which We Intend to Cause Havoc, a playlist from them. Taqbir's
Yep.
self-titled EP, and Dir Yassin's Hitpakchut EP.
Yep.
Then Ritalin, you did Rugh Rug and Cash Only Tony's demo album.
Yes, I did.
But it's an album called Demo, but it could be demos as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right, well, where do we want to start? Trix, since you managed to beat the most kids out of all of us, I think you are rewarded with start.
Can we just take myself out first and just talk about Gordon first?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's talk about Gordon because I have
Well, yeah, that's
I have something to say about Gordon, and I have a feeling it'll either go over well or not at all.
Okay. I mean, I'll open it up a little bit. Like I said, this was a cassette I bought at a music store probably when I was in college, and it just was a weird thing that I had, and I'm like, huh. I have never heard of this band. I've never seen anything about them. I wonder if they even existed, if they put anything out. And I didn't know until I finally like digitized it and looked up the song off the single, the A-side, Fortified Grapes. And I'm like, oh yeah, that just leads me right to the album. How about that? And Sony published them in like 99, and they had an album, and that's about it.
yeah.
Indeed.
What is your take, Trix?
This is music by dads for dads.
Yeah. Kinda.
Like this would go like Fortified Grapes would go perfect on a mix CD between 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies and something by Bowling for Soup.
Okay. So you're saying like dads now, like not like dads in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm saying like this is something that my father for sure would have played in the car when I was like 6.
Wouldn't it be funny if he did?
Honestly, some of these sounded kind of familiar. I'm gonna have to send him the album.
Well, I'm going to just put out something that I did find about this album. I've done a little bit of research, Dominic.
Yeah.
My take of this is that this sounds like Poppy Porcupine Tree.
Yeah.
I
and
kind
the-
of hear it.
It's got that
The
radio
album art
porcupine tree.
Yeah, the album art doesn't look too far from one either. The lead single, Fortified Grapes, that was in Charmed, the Devil's Music episode, I think. So that was in a TV show. And according to this site, apparently Be Anything But Be Mine. Trix, do you want to guess what movie this is in?
Oh, that's their song that's not on this album that I know exists.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're cutting out.
Chick's completely cut out. She just
I
couldn't
I
handle.
have no idea. It's
Dominic, do
got to
you
be
know?
something I like. I
No,
have
it's
no
something
idea, but
very
I'm guessing
funny
it's
for this to
something I
be in.
like. Fuck.
I've seen this answer. I forget what it is though.
It's in fucking Click.
Oh, okay. Click was not what I remember it being, and let me see real quick.
Yeah, Chicks, you fell out
Yeah,
there as I gave
I
away the
heard
answer.
you guys perfectly fine.
Okay.
But it's I have no idea, but the way that you're like leading me on, Ritz, it's got to be like something I've gone on record and saying I like.
No,
Could
it's something funny. That's what I was saying. It was Click.
Click. Oh, that movie made me. I cried watching the last time I watched Click. Not even gonna fucking lie.
So I looked it up. I looked up because Discogs has a few of their appearances. They're on the soundtrack from Malcolm in the Middle.
This is after having listened to this album. My take was always just gonna be this is the exact type of music that you would hear just on TV shows and then just never go out of your way to listen to. And by looking at their Spotify streams and by looking by the fact that they've been on TV shows, I was right.
One thing that is interesting, they were on a
Yeah.
compilation called Strike Force USA, Music to Take on the World. Also on this compilation, Silverchair,
Yeah, which one of these did better?
Anthem for the Year 2000, and Fortified
Make
Grapes.
it up to you.
It's a compilation for the U.S. Women's Cup Soccer. I guess just something like that.
He also, according to Spotify, Irving Gordon wrote many popular tunes recorded by Perry Como, Patti Page, Eddie Arnold, Bing Crosby, and Billie Holiday, but is perhaps best known as the author of Unforgettable. I didn't quite realize how good and talented this band was, especially when they co-wrote Duke Ellington songs.
That's the weird thing. It's like, what the fuck is up with that? Who fucked up, or is it just because that's the question I can never quite get settled. Are they actually called Irving Gordon, or did somebody just like fuck up somewhere or do something stupid?
But according to all of like just Amazon and everything, it's like the artist is Irving Gordon.
But
There's no Wikipedia thing.
But if you look at their releases, they're just called Gordon.
Yep.
Yeah. Weird.
Someone fucked up when releasing it, but I mean the YouTube is as a Gordon Vivo, yet it's Irving Gordon Fortified Grapes. So somewhere someone fucked up.
So they're on Vivo. There was a music video that was of some renown.
Yep.
All right.
The comments on this: one of the most underrated albums of all time. They haven't listened to many albums. I love these guys. My brother's best friend's brother was the lead guitarist. They were featured inside. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. I am a useless consumer of food. How did that band not make it huge? I had their album, a perfect record from start to finish, not a single filler. Again, I disagree.
I disagree.
I completely disagree. Jorodor set chansen kunna palaba de challenge varam suskute. Or I love this song known by the soundtrack of Charmed, really underrated.
Hey, so from Charmed.
Interesting. This is the greatest fucking comment I've seen. Interesting fact: the lead guitarist bought my refrigerator, and then someone's just replied, "Jeff." Not fucking kidding. That's something.
There is a band named Jeff. So who knows? Maybe.
There's I'm going through Discogs, and there's a guy.
So,
the guitarist is a guy by the name of Chris Dye, it looks like.
Yes. He and one of the other people ended up being in Dashboard Prophets and the Fire Violets. Or he was, at least.
You can't convince me those are real names.
Those are made up.
Yeah.
The most successful person, it seems, is the drummer Pete McNeil, who was in Cake at some point.
I want a girl with a smooth liquidation.
Also, they could be entirely fake names. Like, these are all just really basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pete McNeil has 40 credits to him, it looks like.
Yeah. Clearly the most well-known.
Yeah.
I got another one in the cast of comments. It's one of my favorite albums from the '90s. Still had the CD in the car, and it's like the wave symbol. And then someone's replied, "Someone stole my CD years ago." Don't worry, you'll get that one back.
Yeah.
He played on a Nora Jones album. That's cool.
I mean, I think I'm done ripping on them because I don't know enough about these people to know.
No, I mean,
Are they good people? Are they bad people?
No.
Are they not? It's good that there was a band that had this kind of push, I guess, to be, the next big act in the whole post-grunge era. That's kind of what this is.
it sounds like
Oh my
a
God.
Radiohead Porcupine Tree thing though. So I don't know how much they were like forward thinking though. What's up, Tricks?
I found a connection to one of my picks for next week.
Oh,
Pete McNeil played drums on a Woo Massacre album.
okay.
But when I say post-grunge, though, Dominic, I don't mean it like the forward think. I'm not talking like a Silverchair's young modern levels of like how post they got. I'm talking about that kind of whole alternative boom that we had in the late 90s, early noughties. Basically started by Matchbox 20.
Okay.
And I'm not ripping on Matchbox 20 for this. I can do that later in my life. And that is not anything of me hating Matchbox 20. That is just Stockholm Syndrome from my mum constantly playing it when I was a kid. But we had that huge era of music that it's basically going to be considered post-grunge because it was the evolution from that. And that's where we got those fucking Daughtries or the fucking Nickelbacks. And
Yeah.
whilst I don't think it's as crap as those, it is in a very similar style to those.
Oh, here's the tape. I found the tape on Discogs.
How much is it selling for?
$3.33.
I linked it too.
$5.29.
How much did you pay for it?
I do not
Probably
remember.
just
It was
found
pretty
it.
cheap.
Probably found it in an op shop.
If I remember correctly, there was a ticket in there. I think, God, it was a ticket that was like somebody clearly bought this at a show and they left the ticket in there. I can't remember who the fuck it was for.
Gotcha.
I want to say it was LA Guns, but that's probably wrong.
Yeah, this is a mid album. I mean, it's a more interesting story that is like, what the fuck is this? Than it is
Yeah.
I guess because it's not lost media. It's not that far, but it is forgotten media.
I definitely thought it was going to be like a lost media situation. So like, I was kind of surprised I found it as easily as I did once I typed in Fortified Grapes because that's the only way you're going to find this.
But there are so many artists out there that are a case of, they had that backing, but just no success, and then they just fell off and broke up and everything. And that's one of these bands. And
yeah,
it's interesting to remind ourselves that they exist, even if the music itself is kind of mid. I know it's not shit, but I definitely would never go out of my way to listen to it.
Like, Sony seemed like they tried to push them as much as they could.
Yeah, well, if they got onto a couple soundtracks, then yeah, it seems like there was a genuine chance. And that's usually what that is. I know everybody's like, oh, look at how this TV show's used this song and everything like that. And
Yeah.
there's only been a few times in the history of TV that the song choice that has been playing during an important scene has actually been fucking like good, relevant, and like actually brings more to the fucking story. I think you can do the 6 Feet Under ending with Breathe Me, even though C is a bit of a at the moment. You're not gonna fucking tell me Hide and Seek is actually a good usage of a song at the moment. People remember that because it was fucking funny.
And there's the OC's moment.
So when you get these artists pushed onto that is usually just the major label going like, hey, can you put this on so we can try and get this band a bit of push and stuff like that? And they'll go like, yeah, we'll do it. And definitely a bit more prevalent back then. I think it's a lot less prevalent now, but there is still definitely cases of that.
I mean, it's interesting
funny,
to think about.
Funny thing with Stranger Things putting up some major label artists into popularity again.
It's interesting to think about, like, what would this band be like if they were not trying to go, like, that route to get signed by a label and do that thing. They were just, like, an indie band. Do you think they would still make this kind of music, or is this more of, like, a ploy to get signed?
This is a band that was riding on a wave, and with every 50 fucking bands that you know of, with every band that you know of, there were 50 fucking bands. that sound the exact same, that are just trying to ride that wave, not to try and be top of the world, but to try and stabilize a career in the music industry. And as much as I hate that type of music, you do what you got to do to get a fucking bag. It's not fucking easy. Sometimes you just need to have a fucking commercialized output and to just stay alive.
I mean,
but that's what this band is.
They're in Charmed. They're apparently in Malcolm in the Middle. There's probably some royalties that come with that. Hopefully.
The royalties are probably nice. Well, they're probably not great royalties, but it's a consistent check.
More so for Malcolm in the Middle, you would feel.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever hear people talking about Charmed.
Whereas I've been watching Malcolm in the Middle through YouTube shorts.
I've also noticed that none of us have actually talked about this album as an album, and I don't really plan to, because
I know
you got Fortified Grapes, and that's clearly the single. And there was some like all right other stuff, but I wanted to get this out of the way because in the end it was just kind of like a whatever album.
I think the album art is the most interesting part of it.
I'm looking at Discogs because for some reason when I go to the album, they're crediting Josh
God,
Freese.
don't download it.
Hold on. Before we all talk, Chicks, that album art, that's the look of every single one of those 20 children that you beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the tape. The tape has that art, so I know it's real. But like, why is Josh Freese listed as a person that contributed to this? That's what I'm curious about.
He did his hardest.
That's a Foo Fighters guy.
I would believe it as like, hey, he's your engineer for the
Yeah, I can see that.
Apparently, it's produced by someone called Brendan O'Brien, Fortified Grapes, or that the producer for the whole thing probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Might have even been like a cover or something like that, or some crap. Who knows?
Ooh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find something, Domino? What'd you find, boy? What'd you find?
I'm looking at they list the graphic designer Keith Tamashiro, and his Discogs profile says graphic artist who currently disappeared from the public scene after he settled a near fatal cerebral aneurysm on January 31st, 2006.
Wow.
And then it links.
That's rough.
Co-designer of Soap Design Co., which I was like, oh, is that like soap shoes? No, I don't think it is. But they are it lists a bunch of stuff that they worked on, like a lot of DJ Shadow stuff, Jurassic 5. So that's cool. I was more excited when I thought it was soap shoes. But yeah, that's really. I mean, the music itself is whatever, and that's maybe the most unfortunate part. Is like they had a decent enough single, and I guess Sony must have signed them based on that potential. But nothing.
Great investment from Sony. It really paid off. Nothing else to say.
Yeah. Dad music for dads.
Fortified Grapes has over 9,000 listens on Spotify, so that's something.
Yeah.
Nothing else has any plays listed, so we know that's pretty low. Favorites, least favorites.
I just sort of point
favorites,
out
the album art. Least favorites, the album. I
agree. Also, the most listeners on Spotify is in Chicago with US. Taipei, or how we pronounce that fucking place in Taipei. Thank you. In Taiwan is number 2. Melbourne is number 3. Oslo is number 4. And Sydney is number 5 with 23 listeners. Not 23,000. 23.
And
Chicago has 31.
It's always Chicago. Chicago's always just there. I want to meet the other 30-some people that are listening to Gordon at this point. Are they all like?
They have. Well, I think it's actually because it's the Irving Gordon, and that's because that's all in the string orchestra shit that they have on here. I think that's the actual.
What's wild. What's wild is that on YouTube, it's still Irving Gordon, but it's only just the Gordon stuff.
Yep.
That's so strange. Yeah, Fortified Grapes, I guess, is the best song. Though I mean, even after listening to that for a few times, I was kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Mr. Cornucopia seemed like it could have been catchy, but it wasn't exactly. Some of the songs are like okay. The Elevator had some
Yeah.
progression. Long Island was an okay closer, I guess, but yeah, it's just yeah. Uh, that's me sighing because I'm like, he kind of wins some, you lose some.
Indeed.
Did anyone listen to the cassette versions?
Of course not.
I did. They were exactly the fucking same.
I don't think they were though. I feel like the cassette versions there was some like bass differences in Fortified Grapes.
I did not hear it.
Maybe that's just me, or maybe that's the cassette. I don't know. But I thought there was some like, oh, they like added a little bit more. Wow, that's interesting. But,
I think what you're being mystified is the sound of a cassette tape.
No. I know what a cassette sounds like. I just remember there was like some extra like there was like a kind of like a affected guitar, I guess you'd call it. Like some like things on it.
I think Dominic's going slightly crazy there, Ritz.
Yeah, I'm just letting him be.
And it's not like anyone else is gonna check to back me up, so I guess we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Dominic, since we've completely upset your hopes and dreams this week, what are we doing next?
Let's talk about this cash only Tonys.
Alright, so cash only Tonys. I'm kind of trying to round up the international stuff that I'm going to cover for a bit because I want to get back on the Australian releases for hopefully a bit of a streak. This one's kind of actually more of a tie-in to this because this got released on Kitty Records, which is the Brisbane, Sydney-based emo label. You know, they held Mouse that did releases for Tryon and Frey. Obviously, Doris is on that. So figured, hey, that's a bit of a tie-in, and I'm just throwing this on it for this. So may as well give it a bit of a quick cover. That's really the only opening for that.
They are very popular in New York. Apparently, as relative popularity as can be on Spotify.
Yeah, especially for screamo. You know,
4 out of 5 cities listed are from New York because we got New York City, we got Brooklyn. Those are the 1 and 2. Number 4 is Queens. Number 5 is the Bronx. The only outlier is number 3 being LA.
Yeah. All right.
So, Trix, this is up your alley, I guess.
Yeah, and I honestly loved it.
New York, they love cash only pennies.
Honestly, this was I'm gonna take over for you for a second, Domino, because I want to gush about this for a second because this was one of those EPs where like every song I'm like, okay, because honestly, this kept growing on me with every song because at the beginning I was like, okay, this is kind of like maybe like Captain Beefheart for unwashed music nerds, but then it started like picking up, and by the end with the fucking Futurama song, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it.
I get it now.
Yeah.
The first song I actually heard from this was "Seymour Waits for Fry" because that was covered by Doris in their acoustic set.
What an interesting choice.
Because I think they toured in the US and Cash Only Tony's played the show with them. I think that's how they found each other.
Little fact about me: Futurama is one of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah, and I feel like you're a cartoon addicted. You know, we did the 100 Gex joke a while back.
Yeah.
Caffeine addicted, cartoon addicted, trans. That's like, that's what that song is basically for.
Indeed.
It's a very catchy little soft tune to end it with, but like, every time I listen to it, I go like, holy shit, this is a terminally online song.
I feel like this is the album that I was not as hot on as far as all this stuff goes. Like, it was interesting, but I felt like it was too disparate.
I think this is one where we're truly dissonant because you seem to be on the not really liking it.
It was good.
Trix is on the
parts, but
Trix is on the love it, and I'm on the mixed side of it.
I would say
I think it's I'm probably on your side here, Dominic, because I think it's interesting conceptually. I think when the vocals actually get to shine on this as well, it does leave for some good contrast, and it's like, oh shit, it's actually kind of beautiful to listen to.
Yeah.
But it's it's a demo tape. With all demo tapes, you get the crappy production that goes into it, but it also feels like some pretty shoddy mixing happening into it as well, which just makes it a bit hard to concentrate on some of these songs. And then some moments of it are just kind of like, okay, that was just happening, I guess, for the sake of it. But
Like so,
it's cool concept.
like they released it as an album. It's called demo, but they released it as an album. So you kind of got to take it within that context, in both senses of of that term. Because as an album, it's just all over the place. There's nothing consistent, really.
No.
And like the shit from like which chipmunk is getting the best head is like what's like obviously stands out the most because it is so screamy. Like it is like the screaming that gets parodied. It's like it's not like screamy.
The answer to that meme is Theodore, by the way.
Yes.
That's what they've said, but I don't know if I agree. I'm gonna go check this out again. I always assumed it was a bit more of an Alvin.
Well, let me explain to you why I think it's Theodore. Theodore is a nerd. I'm willing to bet that is the first blowjob he's ever gotten. So, dude is curling his fucking toes.
Oh no, wait, no, Theodore's the green one, apparently. Simon's the
Simon's the blue one.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. I was like for a bit I thought it was Alvin, but then I looked at it and it's like it's the green one, but who's the green one? That's Theodore. No, I agree, it's Theodore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give enough of a shit to have an opinion.
Well, that's just a skill issue on your part.
It is in fact a skill issue on Ritz's part, or on Domino's part.
Yeah.
I am very tired.
I mean,
Simon's probably getting a good one as well. I think Alvin, looking at it, is kind of faking it. It's just a bit too exaggerated, you know? Yes. But Theodore's like passed out because of it, and that's like, yeah, that's good.
I mean,
Alvin's the question that nobody asked.
Alvin's already done Coke and Blow and everything, so
yeah.
The question that nobody's asking is who is giving the best head.
Well, it has to be whoever's blowing Theodore.
Yeah, that's fair.
No one had to ask that question because the answer's the same.
Yeah.
So are we macking at Maria or are we just fucking Maria? What's the vibe?
I'm on the fuck Maria. I like that song better.
I do too.
That's fair. I like that song more.
Yeah. I don't mind that this is like obviously screams the album because that's what it is, but the softer kind of moments that it just hit harder.
Yeah, the softer moments are what make it for me.
Yeah, it definitely had that Doris vibe, I will say. But I don't know. I just think that in the context of all the other stuff we listen to that's in this vein, whether it's "We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever" or Doris or just other stuff,
or Freezer, or I cannot name that band anymore.
Yeah,
this feels unpolished in a different way that I'm not as vibing with. I'm just more mixed.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that, Dominic. Really, it's a case of I like the concepts that are going on here, but I think their execution, just in the sense of a studio form, and if this is all just demos, which it probably is because it's called demo, then that's understandable. And I think in that case, you treat it more conceptually. And I think what they got going on conceptually for this, having those kind of very sudden changes of pace, works to their sound. But in actually judging this as a proper album, because it's kind of how we're doing it, then yeah, its mixing kind of leaves a lot of the instrumentation to kind of get lost within each other to the point where you're not really vibing with like something hits. It's just kind of noise.
Yeah.
In a case, something to really dive into, unfortunately. And that's I guess why those softer moments work better. Because it's not like even the softer moments are without the heaviness. Because "See More Waste of Fire," the softest song on here, that still has the screaming happening as the backing vocals.
Yeah.
And you could say that's been like a very overdone thing since fucking early on in the whole screamo scene to be doing, but it's a reason it's a bit of a staple. It sounds good.
And my issue too is that like it's just hard to get a sense of like what their vibe is. Like obviously they're going for more of the screaming, but also more of the Dorsey kind of quiet moments too. But it feels like there's like other elements that are present. Like
I mean, but comparing it to Doris has a huge element of slowcore going on, whilst this doesn't.
Right. This is more terminally online, more like the cover gives it more of like a Hex D vibe, but it's not quite
a little.
there either.
Like, it is quite like blurry around it. Like it's not like completely blurry to the point you can't comprehend the art, but it is got that kind of like blur happening on it.
Yeah, it's memey, internet-y, but not like hardcore. Just kind of like it's the same font as I'm pretty sure is like you wouldn't steal a car.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
But beyond that, like just the way the
It
songs are kind of
is.
slammed together, like there are the soft and slow moments and like the hard and fast moments that work well contrasting each other. But on an album, the way that they're presented, it more makes it feel like there are just two paths the band wants to go down, and like maybe some of them are doing one part, some of them are doing the other part.
would you kind of compare it then to
Mhm.
I'm trying to fucking remember their name off the top of my head. The Canadian Lost Media we did.
Oh, Seismic.
Seismic, yeah.
Seismic.
Because you had a similar take about that, if I remember correctly.
My take was more on the vocals, but I mean, it was sort of kind of like this, but different.
Yeah.
Because with
Mhm.
Seismic, I was more like, no, it feels like the singer is trying to do something different than what the band is trying to do. Here, it's like more of a faction of like, well, some of them are doing like Fuck Maria, and then some of them want to do which chipmunk is getting the best head.
hmm
And like, there are different singers. There's some scramsier lyrics, some of them are softer. There's just a lack of cohesion. That again, they're demos, so that makes sense. But it's like two failed projects coming together almost. Like they tried to go for a more hardcore thing, it didn't quite pan out. They tried to go for a more softer thing, it didn't quite pan out.
Depends on what you consider to be failed.
Failed is a strong word. It's just like
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Unless this is the only 8 songs that they have, and they're trying different things, which is totally valid.
hmm
But this is where cutting and like editing comes in, and like choosing songs. It just feels a little
Yes.
like, what are you giving me here?
I might actually be the only 8 songs that they have. I swear I saw somewhere, maybe I'm wrong. That it was like, hey, this is our full discography or something, but let me see. No, can't find. I might have read wrong, or might have been thinking of something else. Either way, they didn't really have anything, or didn't have anything out before this, so
Yeah, good for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's again, I wouldn't go as far to say this is 2 failed projects. I think these are 2 bordering on the line of passing of projects in a sense, but I guess it also depends where you put the passing. In a sense, I fuck with the concepts that they're going with on this, but the execution is just a bit muddled.
Yes.
This is
in our limit.
definitely a band where it's like, wait for the next album.
Yes.
I think their whole build-up's coming from their live shows anyway, so that's probably that's where a lot of the praise is coming at the moment. Which, to be fair, it's screaming.
Gotcha.
Just go see a fucking show.
Sure.
Yeah.
I bet they kill live.
I bet they do too.
Chicks, you have no excuses compared to us two.
My excuse is that I work Fridays during when most of the shows are in this town.
All right.
Just order catering
favorites,
and then go cater.
Favorites, least favorites.
Favorites for me, Seymour Waits for Fry, and I also really like Seven Leaf Clover. And least favorite for me is Medic Non-Emergency Unit PA Dead Cuts Off.
Dead on set.
Yep, dead on set.
My favorites are Seymour Waits for Fry and Fuck Maria. My least favorite is Macking at Maria's.
I like Fuck Maria.
All right.
I think Rosa has one of my favorite lines. Something about feeling like Sisyphus. And I was like, oh, I think you're trying something with that. My least favorite is which chipmunk is getting the best head.
Fuck, I guess I should pick the next one, shouldn't I?
Did you hear that,
Yeah.
Trix?
Yeah.
Did you hear it
For
get
what?
all glitchy and weird?
No.
Okay.
For me, was I just glitchy and weird?
You came in like you started talking like 5 times in a row. Like a fucking soundboard.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go do the anti-Zionist one, Trix.
Okay. Dear hold up.
Dir Yassin.
Dir Yassin, yes. They are I'm calling them Palestinian. They're from Israel, but they're singing about the horrors of Israel and Zionism, and they're named after a famous massacre of Palestinian citizens in 1948.
in
So
in the
I
in the
feel safe in
town.
calling them. Yes, I feel safe calling them Palestinian. And yeah, I this was honestly a quick last minute find, but there's a lot here, and I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, no. So Post Cash Only Tony's is a bit of a mix of concepts and some uh, execution that leaves just a bit to be polished. This is what it's like when it's like, okay, we've got an idea, we've got the way how to do it, and let's do it, and it fucks.
Yeah,
It's just 10 minutes of great hardcore.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't understand the lyrics really, and
Well, they're in Hebrew.
a lot of it kind of sounds the same. So it's more like I appreciate what they're doing. I like what they're going for. I appreciate the message. It's 10 minutes that I'm going to enjoy, but like I can't really tell you anything individual about the songs.
Well, I having only listened to it in the way I did, which is on the YouTube, and I didn't read all the song titles. I can't tell you the individual
Well, there's
fucking
like
songs.
20 song titles for this 10-minute EP, it feels like.
Yeah, I think there's like 11 songs or something on it. I can remember some of the samples, like
14.
the first one, which I don't know who it's referencing, but it's basically, I guess, someone trying to defend or something the whole um, occupation, occupying of Palestine, and it's basically trying to say like or like the sample is some guy trying to say that like Palestine just won't cooperate or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know the
Yeah.
sample in full knowledge or full context to tell the full bit, but that's kind of the vibe that I was getting from it at least. And it's just this whole
Yeah.
kind of like fuck you hardcore that's going on the top of it. It's just if you gotta make a statement, that's just how you do it at the start, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, this is
And
this is the
look, I'd
late
just like
90s.
to quickly say,
Yeah, go ahead.
fuck Israel.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, well that's been a given.
fuck Israel.
Yes.
Support this podcast supports a free Palestine. That's literally
It
like
does.
one of an episode of our show.
Yes.
What is it? I'll look it up.
It's been a while
Don't get
back.
it twisted. This podcast supports a free Palestine.
It do. And another reason I picked this band is because we did cover another Israeli band in the past with Hassan,
Yes.
and I just figured I'd level the playing field at the beginning.
Sorry. I mean, it's the late.
I mean, when
90s,
it comes to
early
this,
2000s. It's,
when I
Yeah.
went to the hardcore show at Chatswood the other day, I said I don't ever listen to hardcore on the studio that much, but for a reason to go to the shows because it all just sounds the same, but it all sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And this falls under that. So if you like hardcore, yeah,
Give this a listen. And there really isn't too much to say about it. It's all in a language we can't understand. I couldn't find the lyrics. I searched. I
mean,
found out that this was distributed physically on cassettes, and there were only 10 copies made of it.
did you watch the YouTube video?
I did.
Did you see the part where they had English lyrics?
I did not. I wasn't looking that closely, I'll be honest. I was Googling while I was listening.
I mean,
I had it
I
in
didn't
like
read them fully,
picture in
but
picture.
it definitely seemed like it was there.
Yeah.
I think they uploaded the one of the 10.
Could be.
So if you want to see the lyrics, you can read as you go, but even still, you're more going to feel the feelings and feel the aggression and the hatred and just the complexity of it.
Yep.
yeah, this fucks. That's my rating.
I agree.
All right. What should we move on to?
I mean,
Your choice.
we're right here.
You know what? Since we're right here, we're talking about vaguely the same region. Let's talk about Taqbir.
It's also fucked.
This is
It
great.
I have more to say about Taqbir because Taqbir is the reason I came up with this idea for covering a band from every country in the world.
Yeah.
Because I stumbled upon this with the artwork of the singer standing in front of Kaaba being hit by a wrecking ball, and I put it on, and it just fucked unbelievably. But there's some lore to this. Like the singer got basically exiled from Morocco for this because of the contents of it, which doesn't get much more punk than that.
Yeah. We know we can find out
And
a little bit more about this, so it's a little easier to talk about it.
yeah,
That's a bit of a cutout.
and I found translations that I think are directly from the album,
Okay.
or directly from the artists and who wrote it.
You're experiencing this too,
Dominic,
right?
Yeah, I'm experiencing this too. Trix, you're like fully fucking cutting out. I'm just like, am I lagging?
I'm always worried that it's gonna be me, but thankfully usually it's not.
Nah, it's not. I guess I gotta go just sing some filler.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there
Am
you
I good
are.
now?
That sounds better.
Yep.
Okay. Where did I cut off? And I'll start from there.
Just stop from the beginning.
You had a translation. That's about as far as we got.
Yes, I found a translation that I think is directly from the band for all the lyrics and the track titles.
Mm-hmm.
So this band, the name also comes from Allahu Akbar, which is which translates to something like hold up, I'm scrolling down.
Glory be to
Victory
God.
victory belongs to those who fight for a right cause. And so this the song titles translate to listen, Aisha Kondisha doesn't have a translation. And then the third one is "fuck you" or "I spit on you." I spit on you. And then the fourth one is "my ass is the greatest."
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
So should we dive into lyrics for this?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the lyrics for "Listen" are, "You saw that I'm not alone. You don't like it. I tattooed my arms and legs. You don't like it. Listen to what I'm saying. Mind your own business. Listen, mind your own business. You saw I'm not alone. You don't like it. I tattooed my arms and legs. You don't like it." And it repeats. And which, yeah, pretty simple. About how just as a woman, she kind of wants to be left alone. She doesn't want to be controlled.
Yes.
Which I get. She's wearing a niqab in every like live performance there is of this band because she's like politically prosecuted.
Yeah, just kind of keeping a low profile while also doing this.
Yes.
Staying anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the interview that I linked, it's like a given name for the interview. The Discogs page says they're somewhere in Europe, maybe.
Yes.
So like it's all like take it pretty seriously.
Yeah, which I totally get.
Yeah.
This is their only release, and I think it will be their only release.
And it's also free on Bandcamp.
Yes.
Just straight up free.
Yeah. As is the Dir Yassin album. Their entire discography.
Yes.
And so anyways, track 2, that translates into we don't have a translation for the title, but it is
Kandisha.
yes, you have nowhere to go, you have nowhere to hide. She's going to find you. Now it's your turn to be afraid. Streets are dark, she's going to find you. She's going to seduce you with her eyes. She's going to ask you, "Darling, do you remember the girl?" Now you're afraid.
Huh.
And there is an annotation on Genius for this, which is Aisha Kandisha is a figure in Moroccan folklore. She is said to lure men in using her beauty to drive them mad through possession or to kill them.
Hell yeah.
And track 3, Fuck You, or I Spit on You. I think I Spit on You is the more traditional translation for it, but they mean fuck you in this song. You're sitting there talking shit. You've nothing better to do. You see me quit giving a damn about you. You see me quit. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nobody likes you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't like me. We don't like you either. Fuck you. Maybe you think we forget. Fuck you. Nobody likes you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't like me. We don't like you either. And it repeats.
Based.
And track 4, My Ass is the Greatest. Are you going out like that? You don't have nothing else to wear. What is that on your face? Put the veil on and pray. I'm not ashamed. My ass is big. Um, they're going to tell you you don't have no respect for yourself, even if you wear the hijab, the niqab, or the burqa. Are you going out to go out like that? You don't have nothing else to wear. What is that on your face? Put on the veil and pray. I'm not ashamed. My ass is big. Yes, ma'am. I'm going out like this. Tight jeans so you can see my booty. My ass is big. And that is all of the lyrics for this EP, translated to English.
Hell yeah. Very
Fuck yeah.
self-empowerment. Hell yeah.
Yes. And this is just 8 minutes of straight bangers.
I agree. It's maybe because it's a little closer to us in time. Maybe because I can see a little bit more of the interviews and just like the story. I think I like this a little bit more than Dir Yassin.
I like the Dir
I
Yassin
found
just a little bit more, but they're both fucked.
I gotta send you some links because I found some like old school punk zines that had interviewed members of Dir Yassin.
Okay. See, that'd be the kind of shit that it'd be cool to talk to. Like, just like if we were actual like music journalists getting the scoop.
Yeah. But this is an incredible EP, and it's a shame we'll probably never hear anything else from this band.
You know, they're still active.
I don't, but they were talking about an album once this released, and nothing has materialized in 4 years. And the singer is in protection pretty much, so probably not gonna have another one.
Hopefully, one day we
Is my guess, at least. Hopefully, we can.
That's fucked. How many lengths she has to go through just to be protected.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like, I don't think this is anything that's that radical, but we're also very Western focused, so.
Yes. And we can't even really say that, like, because like there's the like Christian equivalent of that kind of edgy art, I guess, too, with something like Piss Christ.
Sure.
But I guess we're a little too Western focused for it, maybe.
I mean, when I say it's not that radical, it's like the actual, like, taken in the context of where we are, what's being said is like, yeah, makes sense, absolutely. But for that part of the world, it's a little more like, it's a big deal.
It is.
But we look at that, we're like, yeah, makes sense. Fucking go for
Indeed.
it.
Yeah.
Ass is the greatest. Do it. But, you know, that's why we get chastised for being, you know, Western decadence.
Yeah.
I fucked with this EP.
Absolutely.
It was all good.
Yes.
No favorite, no least favorite. Just good.
All bangers.
But, you know, gotta save the best for last as far as your picks go, though.
Yeah. Okay. Which we intend to cause havoc. This was me just kind of like I picked songs at random, if I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, oh, let's get something from like everything, and let's just kind of grab a couple songs here and there. And I feel like I grabbed a bunch of songs that encompassed Witch as a whole. I got one of their new songs. I got a lot of their old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really fucked. Like, this is my favorite of the week.
Yeah, this was really fucking good. Like, I sent them to my father, and my father is like a super harsh music critic. He only likes specific things, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is great. I love this."
I like it. I'm not as big of a fan as you two are on it, but I like it as well. It's very out of all the names here, we intend to cause havoc. This is actually the chillest out of all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funky actually, but very nice. This is the first time I've actually gone into listening to the band, even though I've known the name for a while. Mashed Potato was the one that just stuck out for me the most. It felt very weird lyrically.
A mashed potato.
I like Lazy Bones quite a bit.
Yeah, it is the better. It is the better of the two Lazy Bones that we have covered.
Another one was Shaky Raves.
No, Green
Gosh.
Day
Green Day.
Oof.
off the Trilogy.
Oh, who could remember?
Apparently, me.
There's only 3 albums worth of songs that we covered for that.
Yeah.
Went back to your playlist here. Yeah, like the interesting thing is that these are all like from like the 70s more or less,
Yes.
except for the new one, Queenless King, which is from a forthcoming album. But
Indeed.
ultimately, I think the quality is consistent.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it does not sound out of place.
No, you could play this on any rock radio, I think.
And yeah, it has a timeless quality to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Like I feel like a lot of Western music in general, like your Led Zeppelins or your Who's, like you put it on, it's like, oh yeah, that's from like that's clearly an old song.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But there's something about something like this, like Zamrock, that's like from at least what Witch is doing. It could be anytime, any place, anywhere.
Yeah.
Universality to it that is remarkable.
And I feel like they still got it with Queenless King.
Oh, absolutely. And I
So,
never knew
yeah.
that Zambia had such an interesting music scene.
Well, we're gonna find out all about music scenes all across the world.
That's the fun part. That's what I'm here for. That's why I like this.
And I figured let's just give us a kind of a sampling of everything for our first episode from a couple places.
Yeah.
Like there's to spoil it a little bit, there's a Togolese metal band I'm thinking about covering.
Ooh.
As well as some European picks I need to double check to see if we haven't done.
Oh, they're from Bosnia.
Yeah.
We've already done a Bosnia. We can't do Bosnia again.
They'd get moved further down the list.
Fair enough.
Although we are going to culminate this whole world traveling experience with something really special, and that's all I'll say.
Reminds me of my world cinema class. You look at movies all around the world. And what do we do for our last week? Let's look at the American independent movement in movies.
We will not be going
Cut out.
Yeah.
Going to America on our trip across the world.
Okay.
Except for South America.
Okay.
I can't wait,
Central
honestly,
America.
for you to do every oceanic country. Because it's not just Australia and New Zealand. You can't
Going
go
to
either. Oh, Chicks is completely cut out, so we don't know where we're not
to
going.
America on our trip around the world.
Yeah, we heard that already.
Let's look at what are some popular bands in Micronesia?
Except for South America and Central America.
Did we get?
It will too. You got Christmas Island. Fuck. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
This is.
You cut out there, Domino.
Did I?
No, it was you, Chicks. Dominic was fine the whole time.
I'm recording, and this is very interesting. I hope you both know this.
Yeah.
With Ritz glitching out a couple times and Shrik's doing that. This is new.
Accidentally connected and reconnected somehow.
No, that was on you. You seem fine now. Talk. What have you got planned country wise at Oceania?
I don't have anything planned yet, but I do know of some oceanic countries that I can cover. Like there's probably something in Micronesia. I'll find something for every country.
Yeah.
Something, even if it's just a single song.
Well, that's my challenge to you: is find something from Micronesia.
I will, in fact, find something from Micronesia for next week. Not next week, but next time.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's United States, but who's that fucking the Hawaiian guy? Because Hawaii is technically Oceania.
Israel
the
Kamala Kole.
Yeah.
The only hold up, I have a meme for this. Hold up. Let me find it. Scrolling.
The only person who was ever allowed to do covers of a ukulele.
Hold up. I'm finding it. I know I have it.
Specifically, the Federated States
Where
of
is it?
Micronesia. That is your challenge.
Yeah. I think stuff like Fiji and Samoa is not going to be easy either.
No, I'm not saying
I'll
it's
find
going to
something.
be. But like, there's got to be music being made, obviously.
Yeah. Also, I posted that meme I said I was going to look for.
That's a good meme. The only Israel I recognize is the late great Israel Kamikarawai.
That's fantastic.
Fuck yeah. Can I
Yeah.
screenshot?
Go for it.
Hell yeah.
I screenshotted.
But
Shout out to
yeah,
Screenshot.
Oceania. I get the list of oceanic countries because music is still kind of a fucking big thing for this, but they are very very small countries.
We obviously already covered New Zealand and Australia.
Yep.
Have we covered New Zealand? Are we sure?
We've
Part
done
of the
Flight of the
Conchords.
Conchords. Yeah.
I was kidding.
Were you?
I was.
So what have we got? I'm going by the actual like proper one. So you can't find a Christmas Island one or a Norfolk Island. Yeah. So we got Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, sorry. Yep, the Federated States of Micronesia, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Palau, the Cook Islands. Now it's actually in New Zealand, so it doesn't matter. Samoa, Tonga,
Is
and
Tuvalu in that
Tuvalu.
one? In the...
Yep, Tuvalu. Yep, Tuvalu.
Yes.
Or Tuvalu, I think it's actually pronounced. Yes, Tuvalu.
I think it is Tuvalu.
Yeah. I don't go there. It's a very small fucking one. So I've never properly
.tv.
pronounced it. But yeah, that is honestly going to be an incredible challenge for you to try and do.
We've already covered
to put
Iceland.
into, well, what's it say the population is for some of these? I mean, Iceland makes sense. That's Bjork. Palu is that? It's in the Micronesia for some reason, but it is its own republic. That's an 18,000 population apparently. Nauru is 12,000. And Tuvalu,
You know what
is
Tuvalu's
11,000.
biggest export is?
What?
.tv domains.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cook Islands is 17,000, and then I don't think NEU counts, but it is a self-governing island country apparently. You know what the population of that is, Trix? According to Wikipedia, it's less than 2,000.
Good luck.
I'll see what I can find.
Now, this is Wikipedia lists of population, and only as up to date as they are.
Have you looked through what we've already done and gotten a good handle on it, Trix?
Not yet. I've been meaning to.
It's we've done China.
Yeah, we have. I know we've done China. I'm pretty sure we've done Japan.
We've done Korea. We've done at least somewhat of a Japanese artist. At least when we did the Your Arms Are My Cocoon.
We've done South Korea.
Ooh, no! I
don't know if
there's North Korean music out there. I know
there is. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. I don't really have much more to say about which. Do you two?
This fucks.
Or shall we end off this episode?
Well, we have the one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have one more.
It's my pick, but did you want to do favorites or least favorites?
I liked it all, honestly. No least favorites.
Yeah, I like it all too.
I don't really have a specific least favorite. I think my favorite is mashed potato. It's weird, but in that weird that I respect. All right.
I found a North Korean K-pop band from 2018.
Okay.
Yes. Finally, Trix. The K-pop I will bow down to. Whether I like it or not.
I found a brutal death metal band from North Korea called Red War.
Ooh.
Huh.
All right. So
there's another one that's a pornograph band called T-Girl.
There's no one else has got that name so far.
Yeah.
Rough. They are a US based, I think.
Florida.
Probably. Florida. Emo band. This was the last of the 3 albums that I said, hey, I plan to cover these, which was Shady Nasty, and then it was
Twine.
something else like 2. It was, which one, sir?
Twine.
Trine, thank you. Trine. And then it was this last, because I also kind of did We Will Look Back at You in the middle of all this. So now, have I accidentally built this up too much by delaying it to last, even though I didn't really build this up at all? You be the judge.
I like Wednesday.
This is okay.
I was specifically asking you to be the judge.
I like Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday's a good band. This isn't exactly Wednesday, but I can understand your comparison. I like it's shoegazy math rock with lush vocals.
Yeah. It's
It's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
It's a formula that works. More bands should do it.
It's a great time to be. A great time to be alive.
Yeah.
Even though I keep thinking she's saying it's a great time to do me.
Maybe, I mean, could be a great time to do you. For all those who are looking, Dominic is from all I heard, it's a great time.
Yeah, he's single.
Yeah.
You could fix that. Anyway,
Find him in a dog mask next Friday.
I think this is a very lovely, consistent debut album. To a point on which maybe its biggest flaw is that it's too consistent. But I think
Yeah.
they do some interesting stuff on here. I love the build-ups that they have on For Steven and Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, which is a very simple song about someone basically self-destructing.
I quite like the instrumentation
Yeah.
on Bridge Water Under.
Hmm.
And yeah, Great Time is a really cool opener too, but ultimately I think you're right, it's pretty consistent to a fault.
Yeah. It's not like it's to a level of like every song sounds the exact same. It's not like some like Wesley Willis way of it, but you know, you start to notice the trend, and that trend works, and it makes a good album. But it's I guess the fear of straying too far away from its path has stopped it from being a truly excellent album. Like this is one that an album I recommend. Full stop. I recommend this album because I think what they do, especially in this debut, is great. I think their sound is good, and it's one of those like if you like the opening song, you're gonna like the rest of this album. It's consistent in its quality. It's consistent in the sound. You're not going to fucking be upset. And yeah, I like it. It's good. But if we're gonna go and say like, is this gonna be like the top of the pops when it comes to math rock or emo or anything like that? So it's like, well, no, this is an album that when something knows its place, it's never really a great thing to say anyway. But sometimes it can be to go like, oh yeah, no, they know what they're doing with this album and all that, and that could be a good thing. But I think this is one of those. It knows its place, but that's its fault. Is that it has these little signs that it could be doing a lot more than what it does.
Yeah, I can see that. Someone on Bandcamp was comparing them to Modest Mouse. I do not see that.
Early Modest Mouse, a little, yeah. You gotta remember, early Modest Mouse was a lot more Midwest emo style.
Mm-hmm.
But this feels so much more modern than that. Like at the very least, it feels like it's a contemporary of stuff we've listened to relatively recently. Like I think instrumentation-wise, I think there's some Homeless Wear in there. You know, Midwest emo, of course.
Yep.
Also from Florida.
Yep. So that's probably being part of the scene. I'm pretty sure I would have found this because Homeless Wear. It would have gone like Happy Release Day or something like that. Yeah, it's a very simple way of I guess explaining it.
And there's some Wednesday in there.
Yeah, a bit because it's got that bit of that old country vibe happening on it.
And I think vocally it shares some similarities too. Like it's not like they're not going out like Full Believer or anything like that, but kind of the like there's a certain lilt to the vocals I think is somewhat similar.
And I guess it's like, yeah, we're going around in circles and saying it, but there's we have all these influences that we can kind of push into this, and it's made for what is a unique sound in a sense. It's not like a unique in like 100 gex putting out 1,000 gex and absolutely changing the sound of hyperpop. This is more like, it's a sum of all the parts that has led to the sound, which isn't exactly what we've heard before. It's like uniquely them in a way.
Yeah.
But also, it's not boundary pushing or anything like that, which not every album needs to be. I'm not saying that. I think in the end, like the greatest albums of all time aren't the ones that break the boundaries, but are the ones that realize the potential of having broke those boundaries.
Yes.
I mean, there's an earlier EP that
also,
we've not listened to. I'm curious how that contrasts. Come on, Trix.
Unrelated, I just posted a Micronesian album in the chat.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you've been focusing on the whole time.
But yeah, so this is what I'll describe. This is what I'll describe it as. If it's going to be one of those two albums, it's not the one that breaks the boundaries, but it's the one that tries to utilize the potential of having those boundaries being broken. And yeah, it's a good album. It's
I mean, when you're climbing a
really
mountain,
consistent.
you can't just be like you can just climb the mountain by yourself, but it's always helpful when you have people supporting you as you climb the mountain.
Yeah,
other people lifting you up. So I see this as kind of an extension of that.
And this album will lead to some songs that will 100% be up there in my top 100 at the end of this year, because I've been blasting them for the past 4 months. For Steven, Great Time, Stop Me If You've Heard This Before. There are some beautiful fucking moments that happen. And that's what you get. I guess I'll probably get killed by some people for saying this, but we're going to do the hot takes for anything. Compare it to Mum Jeans when that came out. Now, it's not got that same popularity, but Mum Jeans is not an album that broke any boundaries. It was one that was basically using the foundations of what had been made. And personally, I think that album is a great collection of songs, more so than it is a great album. And there are moments on that in which I think, these songs really stay in my playlist because they're catchy, they got those things in it. And that's what I feel about this album. So someone will probably kill me for doing the Mum Jeans comparison. Worry about that later in my life.
I am more into this than I am in the Mom Jeans, I'll tell you that.
That's fair. Well, this sound is a bit more like fresher than Mum Jeans, but that wasn't the point of my comparison.
Yeah, no, I get it. It could be that whatever happens next with this band is maybe striking more out on their own, or maybe not. But it's important.
They're a one to watch.
Yeah, it's important to also see not everyone can be a trendsetter. What else is out there?
It's kind of
indeed
kind of the opposite of Cash Only Tony's in a way of which we said that one was just a bit too over the place, and they went jack of all trades, master of none. This is a master of one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Precious Metals, but I felt like that song was over too quickly.
I'm a bit done with talking this week, so I'm happy to do favorites or least favorites.
Same here. I'll go first. This was a bit of a blender for me, but First Steven was probably my favorite.
I liked Great Time, Bridge on Water Under, Precious Metals, even though it ended quickly. My least favorite, we're probably looking at Nodding or Hair of the Dog.
Favorites I've mentioned before, but I'll say again, Great Time for Steven and Stop Me If You've Heard This One Before. Least favorite, probably Yelp Review.
As far as these three picks of yours goes, I think I like Twine the most, then this, then Shady Nasty.
That, I might agree.
All right.
And I like that Shady Nasty album.
But I really like that Twine album.
Yeah, no, that Twine album's fantastic.
All right, so next week, y'all are going to be doing something without me.
Yeah, but we've got to do the rankings for this week first, don't we? Yeah, it's a long one to do. Fuck. I guess the last place goes to Irving Gordon.
Irving Gordon.
And then after that, I'm gonna put the We Intend to. No, I'm gonna put Cash Only Tony's. And then We Intend to Cause Havoc, just because the We Intend to Cause Havoc was a lot more, properly mixed and stuff. I had probably about the same enjoyment out of both of them. I mean, conceptually, I prefer Cash Only Tony's, but that's just me. But yeah, I'm going to put We Intend to Cause Havoc above that. Fuck, I think I'm getting everything. Then I'm going to put, what have we got left? So that's 3 out of 6, isn't it? We've only done the 6 things this week, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only 6.
Okay. Then I'm going to put the Moroccan band.
Which?
What was...
Oh, no, it's Taqbir.
Taqbir.
Yeah, Taqbir. Then I'm going to put Rough. Then I'm going to put Dir Yassin.
I will put Gordon at the bottom, unfortunately. Then Cash Only Tonys. Then Rough. Then I think for the moment I'll put Dir Yassin, Taqbir, and Witch at the top.
All right. So I'm gonna go Gordon at the bottom. I'm gonna do Rough then. Then I think I'm gonna throw Dir Yassin there. Then I'm gonna go Cash Only Tony, Witch, Taqbir at the top.
All
All
right.
right, so that's a pretty wild ranking in the end of it. But congratulations, Dominic. Universal number last.
And I technically have an overall number 1. I'll take it.
Sure.
It has to be the same album.
Yeah, but I so very rarely get number 1s. I'm going to count it.
Yeah, but you did kind of cock yourself there, Trix.
Yeah.
I usually get number lasts, so hooray for me. Anyway, y'all are doing something without me next week.
Indeed.
And
Uh,
unless you want to talk about that now.
Go ahead, Trix.
let's talk about it. I saw the Minecraft movie on mushrooms, and we're going to talk about that as well as C418's Minecraft Volume Alpha.
See, I said that I would just read the Wikipedia article, but I feel like that joke runs out pretty quickly. So I am tempted to actually go see the Minecraft movie to do this. However, I don't want to fucking see it in theaters because apparently it's school holidays here. That's one issue. And there was a fucking trend after COVID, which fuck your country. Yes, fuck your fucking country. Because you cunts over there have always had more of a tradition of people clapping and shit at cinemas, so that makes cinemas more of an event. While it's supposed to be here that people shut the fuck up at cinemas and then walk out and then talk afterwards. But no, it's been going on post-COVID with all these people who've never been to a fucking movie before. And they just start doing all these memes and we fucking saw the Barbie film and people were fucking clapping beforehand. As it's like, no one's fucking filming, you can't. Shut the fuck up in the cinema. If you're there to be a nuisance, get the fuck out. Sorry, I just went on my rant. So yeah, I might see the Minecraft movie at Gold Class so I can play a drinking game with myself during it.
Red saw it drunk, I saw it on mushrooms.
And I do not want to see it.
Which
I don't want to see it either, Dominic, but we do things for science.
I'll be honest, I only saw it because Jared Hess directed it.
Well, apparently it was supposed to be Matt Berry originally, and that would have been better.
Would have been so much better. I will spoil this in it. Matt Berry does make a cameo.
At one point, it was going to be what's the guy from It's Always Sunny?
Rob McElhenney.
Charlie Day.
McElhenney was going to do it at one point.
Yeah, he was going to direct it.
Okay.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a movie that was in fucking development hell.
Yeah, I remember when this was announced back in like 2014.
Yeah.
See, I feel like if Rob McElhenney, did it, it would be a Barbie and said this is more for Borderlands.
To put it in perspective, I'm pretty sure
Borderlands was worse.
When the Minecraft movie got released, I'm pretty sure people still liked Notch.
When it got announced, you mean?
Yeah, when it got announced, yes. Not released, sorry, my bad. Yeah, when it got announced. I don't think Notch's Kira Notch came out for a couple more years. Like, he was still a bit of a dick then, don't get me wrong, but he still had good PR.
Well, no, I think that was actually around the time when he had the candy wall that went bad.
The candy wall that went bad.
Yeah, he had a wall of candy in his mansion that he had to get rid of because he couldn't have enough friends over, and it just kept going bad.
Yeah. You would feel sorry for anyone but Notch.
Why'd he keep replacing it if it goes bad?
I think we'll talk about Notch as a person next week, Trix.
We will.
There is a lot to go into.
Oh boy. Can't wait to edit that and find out what it's going to be about. Anyway, other than that, the week after, I can just say all of our picks again if you like, or if anyone wants to re-announce them.
Yep. No, you can say 'em.
Yeah, so the week after that, a regular episode, I did Dochi's Alligator Bites Never Heal, the extended edition. Fritz, you chose Tape Off's Fort Sensible and the new Keratin Death and Rebirth.
Yep.
Trix, you chose The Unknown's East Coast Low.
Yes, I went Australian.
Even though we've already been there.
Yes, but I wanted to prove to Ritz that I could still pick an Australian occasionally.
And you just picked an artist who've already picked in a different name.
Technically, yeah, but I feel vindicated in the fact that you hadn't really heard of them.
No, I'd heard the name around. I just didn't know the full story.
Anyway, that's Dissonant Waves for this week. My name is Dominic. You can find me online somewhere. Editing this show, putting it on YouTube. I'm the workhorse of the show sometimes. Not that I'm bragging, more just like that's where you'll find me.
I have been Ritalin. I would be the workhorse of this show, but instead I'm looking at pictures of cat on the internet.
You sometimes record for me.
I have been Trix, and you can catch me inside of your walls.
And you sometimes do some art for me.
Yes.
And I appreciate and love both of you for everything you do.
That's a cute little
There's some exclusive art over on the Blue Sky.
Oh yeah. Come see us on Blue Sky. We technically have a Twitter, but you should come see us on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
We have our YouTube page. And we have a site, Dissonant Waves, Not Space. I assume we still have the site.
It's been a minute. I don't know. Maybe. I'm tired.
Maybe we have merch. Maybe we don't. Who knows? Anyway.
We never will.
That's going to be it for us. It's late. Have a good time watching Minecraft, I guess.
He won't.
Nah.
Bye-bye.